so we'll be continuing with our data sufficiency questions. Today we'll be taking up 2022 questions. Let's get started. Okay, so this is the first question. It says, is Z brother of X? So first thing, this is from the chapter of blood relations. Okay, so blood relations we will be directly using. I cannot get into the chapters, so we are just focusing on solving questions of data sufficiency. Now the question is Z brother of X? That means, is Z brother of X? Can you answer this question? Yes or no? Okay, now, yes or no? Is Z brother of X? So ultimately, we'll see that it must be giving you a definite answer that yes, Z is a brother of X, or no, Z is not a brother of X. Now, let's read the first statement. X is brother of Y. So X is, now male we show by a square around it. Okay, so X is brother of Y. So X is brother, so X becomes male, correct? Then next line is, and Y is brother of Z. So Y is brother of Z. So Y also becomes male. Now, can you tell anything about Z here? No, Z can be a female also. Then also Y can be her brother. Or if Z is a male, then Y is his brother. Does not matter. So here there are two possibilities, that Z is a male or a female. Now, if he is a male, then he will be brother of X. But if he has female, then she'll be sister of X. So this is not giving you any conclusion. Then next it says X, Y, Z are siblings. So X, Y, Z are siblings. Now, second statement is this. So let's say siblings means X, Y, Z. So this statement alone is not giving you anything, correct? Because siblings, I don't know if X and Z is not male or female. Then even if I use both the statement, so 1 and 2 are not enough alone, but even if I use both of them, then also I have this same relation. I still don't know the gender of Z. Till that time that I don't know the gender of Z, I cannot tell this as a definite yes or a no. That means even both statements together are not sufficient to answer the question. Okay, then next. Yeah, let's see this. It says what? You need to tell that is X an integer. Sure shot. It should be sure that yes, it is always an integer. No, it is never an integer. Now, what I told you that in the first lecture itself, that in data sufficiency, our main aim is to disprove the statements, not trying to prove, just getting one thing. See, if I have to prove that you are a very honest person, then of everything that you say in the entire day, in the entire year, I have to prove that all of them are truth, correct? But if I have to prove you dishonest, or what do I need? I just need one time that you say some lie. So that is why our focus is always on disproving, because even if we can find one case where it is not satisfying, then what we can say, if it is not satisfying, then we can say simply cross that statement. But getting some cases in which it is satisfying does not make the statement right. So our focus is always on disproving. Now once you get this, let's try to disprove each of the statements. If we are not able to disprove something, then it's fine. So X is an integer. Now statement 1 is X by 3 is not an integer. If X by 3 is not an integer, is there only one possibility for X, or there are two possibilities that X may be an integer, may not be an integer? So for disproving, I give you two values. See, first value that I take is, let's say X by 3 is not an integer. Okay, so let's take X is equals to 1. Now X is equals to 1, this is an integer, correct? And X by 3 is not an integer, this is satisfying. But X is equals to 1 by 3. Now X is equals to 1 by 3, then X by 3 will be equal to what? Then X by 3 will be equal to just this divided by 3 again, so 1 by 9. So this is also not an integer. So this is also satisfying. That means this first statement gives you answer that x may be an integer or may not be an integer. X may be an integer, x may not be an integer. So both are possible. As I told you, when you get and, then that is insufficient. So this is insufficient. You should always get exact value. Then next, 3x is an integer. So 3x is an integer. Now I take x is equals to, for example, let's say x is equals to 1 again, and now I'm trying to disprove this. So next, I can take x is equals to 1 by 3, but that will give me the same result. So let's try to disprove this statement also. So let's take x is equals to let's say 1 by 3 only. Now you see x is equals to 1, so 3x will be equal to what? 3, integer, correct? Then x is equals to 1 by 3. X is equals to 1 by 3. This is not an integer, but still 3x is equals to 1 by 3 into 3, that is 1. So this came out to be integer. So this holds. Now if this holds, that means again you have two values here. For x belongs to integer also, it is satisfied, and for x not belonging to integer also, it is satisfied. Correct? So that's why even 2 is not enough. Then even if you combine them together, that's why I've taken the same examples, so that even the combination is visible directly. So same thing, I'm taking x is equals to 1 and x is equals to 1 by 3. Now both will satisfy that x by 3 is not integer. Correct? Statement 1 हो गया satisfied. Similarly, x is equals to 1 and x is equals to 1 by 3 also satisfy that 3x is integer. Both statement 1 and statement 2 is satisfied. Still you don't know if x is an integer or not an integer. So both together are also not sufficient. Answer becomes T. How do I take 1 by 3? If I have to tell you how you think about this, because you see here x by 3 and 3x. So 3x can be made an integer only by something that has some 3 in the denominator. That fraction will still be making an integer even though x by 3 is not an integer. Okay, so that's why we took 1 and 1 by 3. Okay, that is how you need to think about what examples to take. Always think in direction of disproving. Then you will see 3x, what should I take as the value of x that is not an integer, it's a fraction, but 3x becomes an integer. Then immediately it will come to your mind that it may be 1 by 3. Understood? That's how you have to think. Then next, now this is a fairly easy question. It asks you how far is the city of P from city Q. P से Q कितना दूर है. Then it says city Q is 18 km from city R. अब ये कौन से डायरेक्शन में है मुझे नहीं पता. So this is, let's say, city Q, this is city R, this is 18 km. Now can you tell me how far is P from Q? No, I don't know the location of P. How is this enough? Not enough, not at all. P may be here, so ये right angle triangle बन जाएगा. If P is here, then it is very far. If P is here, then it is again still closer than all others. So I don't know. Now second statement alone, P is 43 km from R, but मुझे तो यही नहीं पता है कि R कहाँ है. So this may be 43 km, but I don't even know where is P. Correct? So this statement is also not enough. Now let's try them both together. So QR is 18, PR is 43. So but still I can have P here, and let's say this distance is 43. Then what you will get? You will get PQ as this one. This is a long length. Now I can also have P here and this distance being PR as 43. Now can you see P and Q are much closer? And if I take in opposite direction, let's say R is here, then I go 43 kilometers here and then I put P here. This is 43. Now clearly QP or PQ becomes much more farther. So it depends on the location of P. That is not given to me. So both are not enough. Answer becomes T. Both are not sufficient to answer the question. In 2022 they gave all these questions which were not sufficient to answer the question. Then I think out of the 6 questions 4 were like this. Then next is this. Now see in sitting arrangement question, one trick I can tell you, that one statement, two statement like that they won't work. Okay, that's why option are also like that. Statement one alone is sufficient to answer the question very rarely, because you are doing the entire sitting arrangement in one sentence. How will they explain the arrangement of all of them? So it is very difficult. Okay, so in most cases you will either find that both statements are enough to answer the question, both or three statements are enough to answer the question, or both statements or all the statements are not enough to answer the question. So mostly you will find their answers somewhere in C or D. Just something that works most of the time. Now let's get started. So what it says, there's a round table. Very nice. Let there be a round table, and there are there are 6 members, A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so let's draw A. Oh, sorry, we don't know the position. So A, B, C, D, E, F. I don't know. I'm just randomly saying. So these are the 6 positions. Now they are sitting on a circular table. All of them are facing towards the center. This is given in the question. Facing the center of the table. Now, what is the question? Who is sitting on the immediate left of A? Who is sitting on the immediate left of A? So A is where? Where is A? Let's, because this is a circle, the first person where he sits, that only defines that circle. Does not matter if anybody is sitting here, here, here. So I will take A anywhere. So let's say A is here. Now A is facing in this direction. So his left is what? Left is this. Basically, the question asks you which person is sitting on this position. Which person is sitting on this position? Now, statement 1, B is sitting opposite to C. Very good. B is sitting opposite to C, and D is sitting opposite to E. D is sitting opposite to E. Now, just by this first statement, you know B is sitting opposite to C, D is sitting opposite to E. Then you know one more thing. What? Now A and F have to be opposite. So the next pair is A and F are opposite to each other. Now if you get this, let's draw the diagram using this. So A, this will be F, but I know this. Now this may be D and E, or this may be D and E. Correct? These are the two pairs. This is one pair opposite. This is one pair opposite. On one you will have one pair, that is BC or TE. These are the two possibilities. Correct? We don't know which one will be where. So one is clearly not enough. Then it says F is sitting on the immediate left of F. F is sitting on the immediate left of B. So where will be B such that F is immediately to the left? Immediate means, now if B is sitting here, if B is sitting here, then can you see immediate left of B will be F, because they are facing towards the center of the circle. So this becomes B. Now if this becomes B, you clearly know this would be C. Now can you tell who will be here? Still you can't tell. Why? Because you can say that either here I have D and here I have E, or I have E here and D here. So still you have two possibilities, either D is here or E is here. So 2 is also not enough. Even if you combine both of them, first one was not telling any new information other than this, that is pairing it was telling, that also I have used, but still you are not sure, it will be D or E. So answer becomes both are not sufficient to answer the question. Then next, yeah, let's see this. It is asking you what is the age of Manisha. Manisha की क्या उम्र है अब. Now first statement, let's, Manisha is 24 years younger than her mother. Let's, because Manisha will be smaller, so I'm taking Manisha's age as small n, and mother will be older than Manisha, so I'm taking her age to be big M. That's fine. Now it says Manisha is 24 years younger to her mother. That means Manisha, whatever her age, I'll have to add 24 to get to the age of mother. Or simply Manisha is equals to M minus 24. That is mother's age minus 24. Now, so this is the first statement. Is this enough to guess the age of Manisha? No, because I don't know the age of उसकी मम्मी की age मुझे नहीं पता. I don't know her mother's age. If I know this, then only I can get this. So this is wrong. This is not enough. Next. Now, second statement we will do separately without using this. Now, 5 years later, 5 years later, 5 years later, what will be Manisha's age? M plus 5. And what will be her mother's age? Big M plus 5. It says 5 years later, the ages of Manisha and her mother will be in the ratio 3:5. So I have divided their ages. This will be 3:5. This is the second statement. Now, if you see second statement alone, it has two variables, small m, big M. Now, one thing you must be knowing that you can only solve when number of variables is equals to number of independent equations. Then only something can be solved. For something to be solved, number of variables has to be equal to number of independent equations. Okay, if that is not the case, you cannot solve them. Now, how many variables do we have here? You have two variables. How many equation do you have here? Only one. This is the only equation, 1 equal to. So equation you have 1. So that means this alone won't work. This is fine. So 2 alone won't work. But if I combine both of them, if I combine both of the statements, then how many variables do you have? Then how many variables you have? Variables are same, small m, big M. So 2 variables. And how many equations do you have now? One equation this, one equation this. So that means equation also you have 2. You need not even solve this. Okay, just by knowing 2 variable, 2 equation can be solved. Very nice. I'm confident in myself. Answer becomes C. That is, using both, this becomes sufficient to answer the question. Fine. Then yeah, let's see this. Yeah, so it says 6 lectures A, B, C, D, E, F, each of 1 hour duration, are scheduled between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. Consider the question and 2 statements. Okay, which lecture is the third period? So how many periods do we have? We have 6 periods. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 periods like this. Now, first one says what? I need to tell that which is the third period. So 1, 2, 3, ये पूछा है. This is what I want to find. Now, first statement is lecture F is preceded by A and followed by C. Okay, so wherever is F, it is preceded by A and followed by C. So they make a chunk of 3. Now, I don't know where they will be placed, but they make a chunk of 3. Now, so this is enough? No, of course not enough. Then there is no lecture after lecture B. No lecture after lecture B means what? This is only telling me the last lecture. So last lecture is B. Correct? Is this enough? Of course not. Now let's combine them both. Let's combine them both. So after combination also, what you get here B at the last. Now AFC you don't know. I can place this AFC. I can place this AFC right here in the first 3 places, or in the next 3 places, or in the next 3 places. I don't know exactly where I should place them. If I place them directly like this, then C becomes the third period. If I move them a little and move and place it here, so then this becomes AFC. Then F becomes third period. And if I move them further, then A becomes third period. You can see this. So this can also be right AFC. So I don't know exactly even using both statements. So answer becomes what? Answer becomes both statements even taken together are not sufficient to answer the question. Got it? Then now we have come to 2023. That's it for this one. Thank you.